Hey guys, how's it going? It is almost spring. It's I think we're 2 days away from the first day of spring. We've survived through the long winter. I have to say it actually hasn't been a bad winter here at all in New York, but I'm excited for spring anyway. I'm starting to think about what I'm going to put in my garden this year and all the yard projects I have, but in the meantime, we're not quite there yet. But I did take a trip this last week. I actually just got home a couple of hours ago from California. I was out there for a little over a week, and I flew from New York to LA and then rented a car, and I drove all over the place. I'm actually going to make a video. I took quite a bit of video on that trip, so that will be coming in the near future. But one of the things that I did while I was out there, which was kind of like half of the reason I went out to California in the first place, was to buy plants. This is not a Lululemon haul. While I was in California, I stopped by Ecuagenera, which is a little bit north of San Diego. I've looked at their plants online forever, and in planning my trip, I knew I wanted to make a stop out there. And I got some plants, and I'm going to show you what I got. It's funny because I follow Becca plants and all the potted together guys, and I knew that they were out in San Diego and they went to the plant shop and got really cool stuff, and then they interviewed Josh from Ecuagenera on their podcast, and it was funny because I met him and he helped me to get these plants. So all of that happened like in the period of 1 or 2 weeks. So yeah, not Lululemon, but look guys, this was my carry-on luggage all the way from LA today. I actually took a red eye last night, so I left at like 9 p.m. last night. Got in at like 6 a.m. in New York. I haven't slept yet. This was my plane attire. It is, what time is it? 1 p.m. I packed these myself, and so I'll take them out of the bag and then I'll just show you and kind of tell you. We'll see how I did on my packing. I bought 5 plants, and I knew going to the plant shop that I was going to have to be transporting these back to New York. So I purposely chose some smaller plants. I don't mind giving them some time to grow. But I did pack them myself. I was staying with a friend the last couple nights, and I packed them yesterday morning in his backyard in LA. And I used packing paper. I went to Home Depot and bought packing paper and packing tape and toilet paper on the inside. And I thought I did a pretty good job. I knew they'd only be in this for a day. And then I carried them on. So I checked my regular hand luggage with my checked bag, and this was my carry-on bag. And it would have worked very well, except then when I went through security in LA, and I have TSA pre-check, so normally you get through really quickly, my little tiny hand luggage got flagged, and the TSA woman had to open 3 of these. I don't know why 3 of them flagged. And I was like, she was actually really nice about it. I was like, these are rare plants. I packed them very carefully. She was really gentle, but then, you know, my nice packing job got taken apart, and then she loaned me some of her tape to tape them back up. So I don't know how diligent we were between her unpacking and my repacking so that I didn't miss my flight. Enough talking, let's unpack. And I moved my carry-on, and maybe I'll just start with well, I don't know about common, uncommon. They had a plant that I've wanted forever. I got a little one. It's not rare, but it's cute. My dog is behind me. Can you see his tail? Sniffing my plants. Leave him alone. So this was my DIY packing. I also bought a couple of other things. I'll tell you a little bit about the trip, and I bought a couple other things I'll show you here at the end too. I did a DIY pot project, which I'll show you too. I think it turned out really cool. I didn't do that in California. I did it right before I left. I don't know if you guys can see. It doesn't really matter, but out. This one might poke me a little bit. No, it won't. Look. Oh, I did a good job on that one, I think. I got myself a booby cactus. Not that rare, but I've always wanted one. I've never bumped into one in the stores here. And they had really big ones too. But I had to get a small one because of my shipping arrangements. So I got a little booby. Isn't it cute? I dig it. I ordered a mildly inappropriate plant pot online. It's supposed to come next week. Let's just say it's like the male anatomy, and I thought it might be funny to put this in that. That's my brain. I just put packing tape over the top of these pots. These are what they came in from the greenhouse. I just put some tape in there to try to reduce soil spillage, and I think I did pretty well. That's all that spilled. I figured this one, I'm gonna grab the, there we go. I figured this one would travel pretty well. All the rest of them are a little more fragile because of the foliage. I no longer remember what's in any of these, so we'll just go for it. This is one of my TSA projects because there's clear tape looped all around it. I might need scissors. Yeah, give me a second. So I was out, I flew to LA last Friday, and I immediately got in the car, rental car. I did stay in LA the first night. I got in late, like at 9 o'clock at night or something. Stayed in LA in an Airbnb the first night, and then the next morning I went to Palm Springs. I stayed with a friend there for a couple days, which was super nice. I've never been to Palm Springs. Then I went out to Joshua Tree and stayed in this cool Airbnb in the middle of nowhere. I took so much footage of that place. It was like in the desert. The roads were made of sand. It was beautiful. And I explored Joshua Tree National Park, which I've always wanted to do. After that, I went down to San Diego for a couple of days. I went around the Salton Sea and saw some really different things in that area. That was probably my favorite day of the trip. And then I ended up back in LA for my last day. And let's see what you are. You see? So this is a little one. This is a queen Anthurium, I think. They had big ones, they had nicer ones. The smaller ones had a little bit of leaf damage, but like I said, I don't mind. I've got so many plants that I'm sort of running out of space for them, and also I kind of just like to watch them grow. So this was a good little size to travel with. So it looks great. So apart from the booby cactus, which I figured would do fine, it looks like it traveled just fine. That little damage you see was there when I bought it, and it looks good. I've always wanted one of these. Spoiler alert, I bought a king Anthurium too. I don't know why. I love both of them. Let's see here. Oh, I'm losing my ID. Yeah, this was, oh, it's actually a, I don't know, for you guys that are in the know, Queen Anthurium Esmeralda. I don't actually know what, oh, cool, I got tape on leaf, there we go. I don't know what makes them different, but these were a little more expensive. Not that that means better or more rare, but I liked them. She's got good roots. See, they just come like at the plant shop there, they just plant them in these little cups with, looks like a lot of moss. But every plant there is labeled. Have you guys ever been to greenhouses where they don't label the plants? It drives me crazy. All of these are labeled. So she looks great, and actually surprisingly good for a plant that's been traveling from LA and repacked after TSA unpacked it. I'll take it. Okay, this looks a little taller. Let's see what we got. You're not missing anything if I'm unpacking off screen. I did a fairly simple packing process. What I was trying to do was just make sure the foliage would be protected. So I just tried to like lay the foliage flat wrap it in something. I used toilet paper because that's all that I could find. But let's see. Okay. Okay. I think we're in good shape. How many of you guys follow Potted Together or Becca Plants, Adam, Nicole, all of them? We probably all do. So they were at the plant shop and Becca bought this. She called it her ovaries and uterus plant. Now I'm a boy and I see something different right now in my camera, but I like that these leaves are sort of like T-shaped. Although this, I don't know about ovaries and uterus, but this is an Anthurium falcatum Ecuagenera. And I thought hers was really cool. I haven't seen anything like it. And I heard Josh on their podcast saying that Ecuagenera was sort of developing a lot of their own hybrids. I don't know that this is a hybrid, but I wanted something that was uniquely theirs. I went all the way to California to go there, so I think this is pretty cool. And it looks great. These were the leaves I was the most worried about. So it's got pretty tall stems there, but for the size of the pot, but it looks great. And Becca seems like hers acclimated really well. This does not look like ovaries and uterus, but maybe I have a different perspective. So I'm excited. I've got a couple of Anthuriums. I don't know how much they love me, but I've acquired them all kind of like during the winter, so I don't know, I'm hoping they'll perk up a little more in the summer. I don't know why they don't like me as much as the other plants in here. This was another TSA inspection. The simplified packing, you see, it's almost just like 3 pieces of tape. And, made it pretty easy. Thankfully. What's happening in here? Ooh. Oh, I was like, what did I buy? I forgot already. This is a Spathiphyllum domino. A little variegated peace lily, I think. Untape him or her. I think the foliage on this is so cool. Isn't that pretty? This was in great shape. I don't see any leaf damage. They looked really good in the store. I don't think they're particularly rare, but I don't have one. I do like variegated leaves. Some of us are moving away from that look, but I'm not there yet. Oops. Look how good it looks. So, Spathiphyllum domino. This is one of the cheaper ones that I got. But also, by the way, I believe that they're having a grand opening at Ecuagenera this week if you're around, with big discounts. And I told Josh that I was in from New York and he gave me the grand opening discount. Anyway, I got a really good price for all these plants. If you've been paying attention, you probably know what this is. Another TSA inspection. Yes, it is. It's a lot of toilet paper. Okay, this is my king Anthurium. I had to do the most folding work on this guy to get the leaves to do what I wanted them to, but they look pretty good. My friend Kyle is a great friend who let me stay with him, and I'm very grateful, but he has a little dog who took some little bites out of this leaf. It used to be perfect, but I guess now it has character, and I'll remember little Poppy every time I look at this plant. But overall, I think it looks really good. Maybe just a little droopier than when I first got it, but it looks great, I think. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Let me get this paper out of the way and then I'll summarize. Okay, so we got king, and queen Anthurium. And we got the Anthurium falcatum Ecuagenera. I'm not calling that the ovaries and uterus plant. You guys can draw your own conclusions. Got my Spathiphyllum domino. These are peace lilies, right? Variegated peace lily. I'm losing some soil every time I tilt them at the camera. And my booby. My little boobies. Cute, right? I bought a couple of other things I was going to show you. Have you guys ever been to Joshua Tree National Park? It's so beautiful. I've always wanted to go. I was born in the desert, and although we left the desert when I was just a little baby, I think it's in my DNA. And I'd always wanted to go to Joshua Tree. So while I was out there, I bought this little planter. Now I know it's a little touristy because it says Joshua Tree on it, but it has the Joshua Tree and the little sun or moon, and I liked the colors. It's got a little drainage hole, and I thought, it's a little shallow, maybe like 3 inches deep, probably 4 inches wide. But I thought if I don't put the booby in the less appropriate pot, maybe the booby is too tall for this, but I thought I'd get some kind of cactus or succulent or something that looks very deserty and put it in there. And I also bought Joshua Tree seeds. There's like 15 seeds. I know, I don't live in the desert. New York is not the place to grow Joshua trees, but maybe inside is in the winter. So I'm gonna try to sprout some of these. I read the oldest Joshua trees are like 1,000 years old, and the package I think says within 10 years they could reach heights of 4 to 6 feet. So, you know, we'll see. But I was in Joshua Tree, I had to try it out. Also, it's seed season, so seeds were on my mind. And then I got a coffee mug that I thought was really cute too. It looks very like handmade, glazed, I'm sure it is, with the little Joshua trees. This one doesn't say Joshua Tree, which I kind of like better, but I will be using this all the time. So that was my haul from the desert. And if you guys have any comments or questions about the plants that I got, I'll leave a link to Ecuagenera. I'm sure most plant people have heard of it, but I'll leave a link to their California store location. If you guys are in the area, it was amazing there. I would have bought everything in the store if I wasn't, you know, flying back to New York. So, I thought I would just show you guys at the very end this little, I don't know if you noticed it, but I did this little DIY project. I saw online where you can crystallize pretty much anything using borax, which is usually like a laundry booster, I think, a cleaning aid. I don't know if other places have borax. I feel like I've only ever seen something like that in America, but you could look up an equivalent if you don't live in the States. So I was like, you know what, let me try to put it on terracotta. And I'll leave a link to the little project. It's really easy, but you basically just mix borax with water, submerge whatever you want into it, and then you wait about 24 hours. And look how sparkly this is. Isn't this cool? I don't really use, my dog's eating the soil now. I don't really use TikTok, but I did put a little like video on TikTok about it, and it got a bunch of views. It's got more crystallization on the inside. It looks snowy, and I don't know why it did that, but this is kind of exactly how I wanted it to look. The TikTok community came at me immediately saying, that's gonna kill your plants, you can't have borax. It's some sort of sodium or potassium or some kind of something. That's gonna kill your plants. I know, okay? I would not plant something directly into this. So if you wanna try this, don't fill it with soil and put something in it. It would be a cover pot. I would keep a plant inside of this in another pot. I get it. I just thought it was something kind of cool and different. I want to try again. Like, this was my first attempt. I got quite a bit of like build up here at the bottom, and I have to open up my drainage hole, or maybe I won't, although it's not particularly solid. But yeah, super easy project. So I'll leave a link for that if you guys want to try it, because this just kind of takes your terracotta to a whole new level, right? See? Cool, huh? All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Leave any comments below if you have any thoughts. And you can always follow us on Instagram if you want. Nika Sarvata is mine, and we also, Urban Farm Boys, we have an Instagram account as well. So Hope you guys enjoyed my little plant haul. I think I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired. So until next time, take care, guys.